Um, Hello, my name is Hamzah Albar, and I'm a Saudi student who recently graduated. I've been living in the UK for about half of my life, and yeah, the reason I'm here today is to talk about something that happened, something horrific really that happened about 10 months ago now, where I had the chance to step in and help somebody that needed help. Honestly, it was a routine journey to Tesco's for me. Tesco's is about less than a 5-minute walk from where I live. So this all happened literally right outside my building. Usually I also will have my earbuds on, listening to music, especially when I'm walking alone. But this day, my phone was low on battery and I had just impulsively decided to leave the house. So I decided not to. And so the first thing that caught my attention was a scream. Initially on hearing it, I wanted to know where it was coming from. And so I started looking around. Now, that road is a main road and is quite a wide road. And so when I looked around, I couldn't really find it at first, but then I looked to the opposite side and it was almost directly opposite me. At the bus stop, I could see two people and I could see that there was something going on. Before I even actually dialed them, I realized that my phone is on 2%. And so I have a limited amount of time to convey the information that I need to convey. I get through to the police specifically and I tell them this is exactly what's happening. There's a woman at the bus stop and somebody's trying to rape her. And this is my exact location. I'm on this road. As soon as I told them the location and what was happening, the call ended.
Hello, I'm on 55 North Bridge Street, opposite the Quick Fit at a bus stop. There's a man attempting to rape a woman.
Where are you, sir?
At 55 North Bridge Street, Sunderland. Right opposite Quick Fit, near the McDonald's, right at the bus stop.
65 North Bridge Street, opposite Quick Fit. Is that right? Opposite Quick Fit? Hello?
At this point, it's decision time. I need to do something. I need to decide what I'm going to do. And so I just ran up to the bus stop and I screamed and I shouted at him, "Stop." And that's when he turned around, he looked at me and he instantly started running away. And I ran after him and I caught up to him relatively quickly. And as I turned him around, he instinctively punched me in the face. And at the time, obviously with all of the adrenaline and everything that I was kind of feeling, I didn't feel it at all. It didn't hurt me. And I guess I tried to convince him with words to stop. So we ended up getting into an altercation ourselves where he's trying to run, but I'm trying to wrestle him to the ground so that I can stop him from running. Luckily for me, he was an older man and I had the strength to stop him. I'm not going to say that it was necessarily easy, but it wasn't difficult either. I could tell how desperately he needed to get away. He knew what he had done was despicable. And he was trying to run away from the consequences as urgently as he could. Ultimately, I wasn't going to let that happen. And so I held him down and I put one hand over both of his arms while sitting on top of his chest so that he couldn't move. I flagged down a few cars with my free hand and the third car stopped. The man came out of the car and he helped me and he held his legs down. And then the woman, I think the man's wife, called the police and she explained to them what was happening. And at this point, we just held him down for a while. And even at this point, he was hurling racist insults and trying to shift the perception of the situation to make it seem like I had attacked him for no reason. And luckily, the people that were in the car that got out could see that that was not the case. 3 very tall policemen dressed in all black instantly came and just held him down, every part of his body. And at that point, I let go and I realized that my job in this is done. Now, as everything was done, the man that had came out of the car and helped me, he also shook my hand and I shook his because we had both helped each other to do something important. And I went home and then I would say about half an hour later, maybe I'd get a call from the police. And that's when they tell me that they had found a woman, that she's getting help now, and that they will be sending a detective the next day to take my full statement. At that point, they also said thank you for stepping in, and I appreciated their gratitude. I understood that at some point I'm going to need to appear in court. That was going to happen regardless. But I knew how important my testimony would be. I was the only one that actually witnessed anything happen. There was nobody else that could corroborate what the woman would say. And I got over the nervousness as I just focused in on the reason why I was there. I knew that this is to ultimately help someone that was hurt and to put away somebody that did something terrible. I think it was a good experience overall because I portrayed the message that I wanted to portray. And I got everything out in a good way. Even the judge showed me his gratitude and told me, thank you, you spoke very well. And I was happy to have been able to do that because I realized how important that situation was. When I had went to court, the detective kept telling me that the victim wants to meet you, the woman wants to meet me. And I was very willing to meet her because given the blur of everything, I didn't even remember her properly, and I wanted to meet her, and she wanted to meet me. It was amazing in a way because I had so many emotions going on at the time, but I was also just, greeted by so much gratitude. We were focusing on the brighter side, the fact that she was safe now. She had been saved from a worse outcome, and that was due to me. So that was the overall energy that I felt as I walked in. And she did refer to me as her hero because in her account of events, she told me that another instance of very interesting timing, I would even go as far as to say divine timing, that she was fighting him, and she was fighting very vigorously, fighting for her life, trying to survive. And she was fighting for at least 5 minutes, if not 10 minutes, before I had actually arrived. And just hearing the amount of strength she had to push through was amazing, honestly. But ultimately, he's a man overpowering an older, vulnerable lady. And right when she had given up, she told me, in her mind, when she thought, this is where I die, that's when she saw me. I felt disgust. I felt rage. And I felt good knowing that he can't do anything like what he has done now. That his life is forever changed and that he will have to go through suffering for what he has done, for what pain he has perpetrated on others. It is now going to be thrown back to him. The world is inherently light and dark. And as much as there is goodness within people and us as a society, that darkness still is very apparent. And the truth is it does exist, and sometimes it will just hit you straight in the face. I think it's comforting to know that things happen for a reason. And as hard as this experience was on the woman herself, in my perspective, I was there at the right time. I was there when I needed to be there. And I did exactly what I needed to do.